don't know about you, but scarcity of time, like, really shows up for me. And I think this, the background on this video is perfect because, for those of you who don't know, I have a kid, and, kids do require a decent amount of time. They love to leave everything lying around, everywhere. Like my daughter just did, I want to show this to you. It got knocked down a little bit this morning, but she did like a really cool tower. And we did that, last night. I really wanted to kind of talk about today on, the scarcity with time. Like, so many of us feel it. So many of us are in there. And how do we, move out of that? Because if we really buy into the story that there isn't enough time, then a lot of times we don't train our dogs and we literally put off our dog training and put off our goals, and we're not able to, reach the potential that we're actually able to reach. And when we tap into the infinite being of the universe, there actually is always enough time. There's an abundance amount of time. In fact, the limitations around the time are only in our mind, and we're the ones that buy into that story. And the more that we buy into that story, the more we create it to be true. So I'm wondering if you can kind of expand a little bit here. And I think it's a really, big leap to be able to say, oh yeah, that's a lie. Like, I believe there's abundance of time and blah, 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 and just go on with your day like that. What I really think is kind of good to just kind of get awareness on is that we always have enough time to do the things that we prioritize, right? So think about it. The things that are really important to us, we usually always have enough time for. And if we feel like that we don't, then generally we try to make time for that. And a lot of times I think our dogs kind of get put on the back burners because they don't talk, they don't speak, they don't say, hey, I'm over here, you better pay attention to me, unless they start tearing up your place or destroying, your living space. They can speak out that way, but you're not going to hear the same thing that you would from your biological child or adopted child, or even just a child that lives in your house that says, hey, I would like some attention here. I want more time with you. And even as kids, a lot of times they don't even know how to speak that out, right? They act it out in their behaviors by interrupting you when you're doing certain tasks, or being loud and obnoxious, or even being extra reclusive and, distancing themselves. And dogs will, tear up the apartment, they'll bark, they'll jump, they'll, pull excessively on the leash, not listen when we call them with come. All of those things can be an indicator that we're not spending enough time with our dogs. And from a bigger perspective, I would like to kind of take out just like that whole story around time and just ask yourself, is it a priority to you to spend time and to train your dog? And if it is, what are some small steps that you could do to start creating that in your life? And only you know what that answer is. It could be just getting up a little bit extra early in the morning. It could be taking out some things that you do in the evening that really aren't a priority to you, such as watching TV for long time periods. Maybe you shut off the TV for a few minutes. It could be, making, if exercise is a priority to you and you haven't done it and you would like to have that start being something new in your life, then it could be incorporating your dog during that exercise. And you want to think of when you're making change, you want to really do like small increments of change, because generally what we tend to do is we're saying, oh, I want this to be so different. So we're saying, we're over here at A, let's go to Z right now. Just go, right? So I'm not training my dog at all, or I'm spending, just a few minutes a day with my dog, and I want to spend 3 hours a day with my dog. So I'm going to go from here to here right now. It's possible. I think it's really, really challenging. So you want to think of how can you do some incremental steps, right? So if you're thinking, oh, I want to exercise more and I want to take my dog out when I exercise, can you just start doing some form of that? And that could be putting on your shoes and then taking them off if you are wanting to go on a walk outside. The next day you put on your shoes, you may feel like that you don't want to take them off and you head out the door. And then once you're out the door, you may feel like, oh yeah, I want to go on a 2-minute walk, right? And then maybe you come in. Or maybe after that 2 minutes, you're ready to go longer. Basically, you're training your brain to actually follow through with that new habit. So if you're having trouble with dog training and it just doesn't seem to be in your having and isn't really happening for you, then you could literally just say, put out the clicker and the treats in a visible location so that you look at them and remind yourself. Recently I had a client that she had plenty of time throughout her day to do training. She spent time in her room doing a lot of meditation and just was feeling depressed. So we talked about like, okay, so you have this time and you're utilizing it in this other way, right? So how are we going to start incorporating this new habit of training that you're really wanting to do? So we talked about, okay, like, can you fill your treat bag with treats? Can you put the clicker out where you can see it? And once you do that, can you say maybe the next day, oh, I'm going to train my dog for a minute. Okay, that's cool. The next day, you're like, okay, I'm going to train my dog for a minute again. Okay, that's cool. The next day, it's like, gee, I want to train my dog for 2 minutes today. Huh, yeah, I think I'm willing to do 5. Oh, now I feel like I want to do 10. So you actually kind of start getting the ball rolling, and then it allows yourself to build that new habit. So as you are incorporating these new habits in your life, you want to baby step things. And then you want to look at your entire life and think, what really is a priority for you? So for me right now, I'm really working on incorporating a lot more play with my daughter, which is why our place is the way it is. And I've decided it's not a priority to clean up the toys all the time. It's just not. They're just out. It's more of a priority to create more connection and trust and play with her. So with your dog, what is your priority? Connection, training time, play time, exercise, cuddles. And then what are some steps that you can take that are very, very, very small that just start training your brain to do the next big step? And if you're brave, I would love for you to comment below. Let me know what that step is. What small or big step did you take to start changing those habits so you can start training or spending more time with your dog and meeting your dog's needs? And if you're ready to take it to the next level and you want to work with me, I would absolutely love to. Drop me a message below. I worked with a lot of people privately. I am starting to do workshops now. And group dog training is going to be happening. In-person training is in Northeastern Ohio. And then I'm still doing it online privately as well. It works. So there's a lot of avenues that you can explore with me, and I would love to come and play with your dog and help you reach your goals. Bye, guys.